Hey there, and welcome back to Ethnitown. It's the second episode of the newly revived City Skylines series, and I'm quite happy with the outcome of the first episode a week ago, and here we are in the second episode, and I hope that we slowly can grow the comments, the interaction, and the views on this project. But first, before we go and talk a little bit of what is going on in this episode, because there's quite a lot in this episode, there is something I want to address, and these are a few comments from the last episode. So first of all, we have the discussion about the word key or K or whatever, and this is whoops, my Google just activated for whatever reason, and this was basically a weird discussion about why the pronunciation is so weird, and I find it a cool detail, again, even though I knew this before, but you always forget about that the English language borrows a lot of influences from other languages, such as French and so on, and sometimes they just don't change the pronunciation for whatever reason, and sometimes they do, so it's not always pretty logical how you pronounce English words. Even though you have a feeling it could be that way, it probably is the wrong way. So that was a good one. So we have the comment from Nicolas Labbé. I guess that's yeah, it should be Nicolas Labbé. He said, "Great video. In French, K is pronounced the wrong way you said it in English. I would like to help you, but I live in Canada, so I can't help you there. But I live in Quebec, and maybe you could look at a picture of a old Quebec and old Montreal. These are names. These are the name of the area of the city. Damn, I can't read today. They are pretty unique because they were made by the French, but there is a lot of influence of British because the fight to have the land. So there's some history behind that. Maybe that could help. Oh, and Quebec is it's the only city in North America to have still a wall around the city. With that said, have a nice day." Thanks. I had a pretty nice day when I was reading all the comments. Yeah, there are a few things I still want to bring into the city of influential architecture styles from different regions, but yeah, that will take time. First of all, we are going to build a little park in the middle of this little suburb, and I have to admit, this one unfortunately will burn down to death on a later stage, which I have cut out of the later videos. This is because I forgot to disable fires. I haven't had the DLC for the natural disasters, and I bought this. And yeah, the first episode after I bought this, the whole city was just burning down, and I needed to rebuild everything. That was horrible, but yeah, fortunately it is all back into place, and now I disable this. King Leno also said he's glad that I'm back on City Skylines, and damn, I am glad too that I'm back on City Skylines. There we have another great comment from two people actually I want to address, and this is from Ryan Morris and from Hans Heinrich. I guess that's the pronunciation he's aiming for. Both said that the videos are a tad bit too quick to follow all the details, and I have to say this video might be too quick as well. But I'm quickly going to explain why. So here's the thing. I prepared all these videos before I was going on to my honeymoon, and the thing about this is that I just recorded for half a year, so that's all the material I had for half a year, and I planned them to be released 2 times a week, but it seemed, due to the confusing name of the old series and the overall just let's say non-availability of myself to be active in the comments and to react of your comments, just pushed the City Skylines into a corner where it didn't belong, and where it didn't got the attention it deserves, because honestly there is so much more work that goes into one City Skylines video compared to all the Planet Coaster videos. It's not, you know, it's not the way that I don't spend as much as love or passion or attention to detail into the Planco videos. It's just I'm so much more used to Planet Coaster. I would say I'm an expert in Planet Coaster. I'm really good at building, I'm really good at using the tools. I don't have to think about what's going on. I don't need to test around too much. I just need to test around my creations in terms of how they look and how they feel. That's totally fine. But I don't need to, you know, get used to the controls and stuff. And City Skylines, I have played this quite a lot in the beginning time of City Skylines, and I started with a few mods and stuff. But then I dropped the game because I started with the same feeling I had with Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, that so many mods that came in destroyed my game and just made it crash. And that was also the time where I was going back to Minecraft, and then everything was gone because I'm basically just, yeah, doing whatever I do when there is Minecraft. I don't play anything else, so that's why this is gone. So yeah, after all of this, I basically completely forgot that there is this game called City Skylines. And when I was actually developing my YouTube channel back then, and I was meeting Strict and Flux the first time, and well, basically just getting to know them, I didn't meet them then, I was so much hyped about the game again, and I needed to go back into the game, but it takes so freaking much time until you're really into the game again. So that's basically the reason why I made so many things. And here you can see also that I'm preparing a bit more of detail for the shopping area we have started a few weeks ago. So yeah, a lot of things basically I needed to learn again, and I needed to come up with, and this is why I needed to prepare so much, and I cut already out so many things, but there's still so much material. And now I want to move on. I want to quickly move on, and I don't want to cut this all out. So I put a bit more into these videos so that I give you the content, but I don't, you know, I'm not the kind of guy who wants to just make 4 videos out of content that is only suitable for one. So yeah, it's a bit quicker and will be less quick in the future, I'm promising. Maybe one episode will be as quick as this one, and after that they will be a lot slower again, because then I need to just move on with new content where I can really react to your comments a lot better than I can do right now, because this is still, as I said, the pre-produced content. I can still talk about some things, so for example the suggestions you guys had for the harbor and stuff, and I will take this also in consideration. But yeah, maybe one thing I have to address as well before we talk a little bit more about what happens in the video. It's from Tilindra, and she says, do you have a favorite link to go for your mods? There are so many for this game, it makes your head spin. Actually, that's what I went through before I had all the mods together. I have to make a collection at some day, then you can go to the link. But I would highly suggest to type into YouTube, maybe I don't know if I have time to put the link in. When I have time I will do, but there is a beautiful video of Strict Toaster and also from Flux, I guess. They are talking about the 10 most important mods for Planet Coaster, for City Skylines, and those 10 you definitely have to use. It's including Move It, it's including Procedural Objects, what I'm just using right now on the screen, as you can see, but also network extensions and all these kind of stuff. I don't really know the names. Prop It Up is also one thing. Thanks, by the way, for the answers in the comments. It was Prop It Up what I was looking for. So Prop It Up is also a mod you may want to use if you want to change the look of existing things and get rid of, for example, trees and parking lots on a building, because that's what annoyed me. I had so great models, but they all featured a parking lot, and I didn't want to have that parking lot because it was not usable in the dense city center. So yeah, I was changing that with Prop It Up. So that's basically a very cool thing. And yeah, so many great mods. But yeah, just type it in YouTube, just look for the mods, or just the top 10 mods, and look for Flux and Strict. That's really a good address to just get to know that. But hell yeah, I didn't want to talk too much about it because I'm not too much of the expert there. I just grabbed all the mods that they said, and yeah, after a time you build your own kind of set you want to use and you don't need, and you know, I still have too many mods activated though. But yeah, as you can see here, this is something I really have to say. That was another moment where I really felt, okay, now you understand the game and now you know how it works. So I'm so happy how this turned out. So I had this slight difference in height, and this was not intentional. This height difference was totally a coincidence, because of me not paying attention to flatten it all out. But I thought, okay, let's give it a try and try not to flatten it all out and make it look, you know, like like super boring because it's all flattened out. So I wanted to keep that slight difference in height, and what it all helped with is actually that it does look now very interesting, because this shopping center is really lowered down a tad bit within the big intersection that goes into the media harbor and the raised area where you have the office buildings and stuff. And now I need to take a nip of my water because my voice is going away. I'll be back in a sec. So, actually that was apple juice, but yeah, I hope my voice is better right now. I'm recording this quite early on in the morning because I will have a football match later on, and I still need to comment on this, because yesterday evening I was just too lazy to do anything, and that's why I just didn't do it, and thought, okay, let's do it in the morning. We'll be working just fine as well. One thing I have to, that's very important. We have to talk about this. There is this one mod called, is it Repainter or Painter or Painted or something? Anyways, this mod allows you to change the colors of buildings, and we may want to have a really long live stream in the future where I'm going to use this mod, because there are so many buildings I really like because of the style, because of the architecture, but they're actually not too much fitting into the city, because they are like the texture and the color is just too bright. So for example, these little containers for the working, or let's say for the little area behind the wall where all the stuff is stored for roadworks and stuff, they are looking pretty nice, but they are too bright. They are too white actually, and I hope that I can change this in the future, because it's looking actually pretty weird though. But yeah, you can see I'm really, in this episode, I'm really going forward with the overall shopping center. It's something that I've been trying to do for a while, but I was just lacking the skill, I have to say. But after being more confident with all the tools, I started to actually go into this area and make it look a lot more clean, a lot more actually realistic. And I have to say, at the end of it, I am so happy how that turned out, and I can really imagine that this is really a shopping center that we could have in Germany somewhere. I'm so happy how this turned out, also with the kind of little nature areas between the roads, and how it does now really nicely fit in the whole area of the city. And then I grabbed these beautiful signages, I have to say, that we can actually make this a German looking center. I will use Prop It Up though to remove some of the Asian signs on this, because it's weird. It's not Asia here, so I still like the overall asset, but it just isn't an Asian building, so we have to get rid of it and make this all look a lot nicer and more European. I'm also really happy about the little football court I built there. So you see that quite often, that you have these kind of things close to a shopping center or something. I don't know why, if there's actually a connection or something, but I just wanted to do this. And yeah, also, as you can see, I'm using now a few decals to make this all look a bit more used and just more realistic. Actually, it's not about making it look used, I guess. It's about just destroying a bit this overly clean looking path and stuff, because it is way too clean actually. You will never ever see a clean area, so to say. It's really not that common, I have to say. But yeah, so we are now at the just going towards the end of this episode, and I am starting with something which isn't finished, but I am pretty happy how the beginning of it turned out. I wanted to make this kind of little Riverside a bit more nice. Just starting to make also a key working over here, to make this all look a bit more nice. This is really ripped off of the Düsseldorf Riverside, just to make sure that this is all kind of realistic German looking, before we then go on into a different area, which then will be the French area. And here we go with today's, let's say, task for you guys to comment. You can either way comment about everything else what you've just listened to in this episode. But now here's the thing: the next area we're gonna start with in maybe the next or the second next episode is a French area. And now just shoot in the comments with background knowledge about French architecture, or about Paris, about why the city came along the way it came along, because I think Paris is one of the most interesting cities when it comes to history of how the city is shaped and why it looks like the way it looks, and with all the canals and stuff. So please put everything in the comments down below what you know, maybe some interesting news about, or just knowledge about Paris, because sometimes it's really interesting to see what people come up with and what you haven't known before. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this episode. As always, make sure to hit the like button, and we will see each other in the next one. Bye!